So there's always pros and cons and everything, and one of the biggest pros about individual program design is pretty much it's 100% specific to the athlete's need. And what I think about when I think about that is you need to be so specific that the need in volume and intensity doesn't need to be as great as if somebody would just train a little bit randomly by doing many different types of training and hoping to get better at all these modalities that CrossFit offers us and all these competitions that you're leading to. But it's also important to realize that there are so many different training methods, and that some training methods are done way too early in the age of the athlete. What I mean by that is a lot of people will try to use these, we'll get into training, for example, and they'll be in their first year of training for CrossFit, and they'll start by doing cluster training, wave loadings, and jumping from one really high adaptive method after the other without even doing what's the basics. So like a 5x5 or even just like regular standard sets. And those are the things that give the lower stress to the athlete. And so if you've been doing all these high adaptive training methods, what are you going to do when you've done them all? Just repeat them again and again. The adaptations to that will be way less greater than if you start with the simple things and then do the more complex things once in a while. There's also a big stress factor that's important to realize, that not everybody can do this full time, and having an individual program design is made so that you can reduce those stress levels and have these times to back off during the year where, I don't know, your workload is way higher. There's also a big factor that's important is boredom. So being in the gym for 2 hours and not knowing what you're doing all these fancy workouts will bring you and lead you to this kind of a need and dependence to train very long, where you don't really need to do that if it's so specific. So that being said, having a structured plan, not only weekly but on your whole year, is very important to achieve athletic development.